So there's two major areas that kind of align on top of this. The first one is your artificial intelligence, which is applying technology to replace, to enhance, or to augment human intelligence. And then there's data sciences, which is the field of study that uses the scientific method to better understand data, to gather insights and patterns, and to create more knowledge from the data that you've got. Now, where these intersect is the magic place where a lot of work is going on today within the technology realm, which is around machine learning. And we're going to talk about three different types of machine learning. The first one is unsupervised learning, and that's where you take all the data you have and you throw it at an algorithm, and the algorithm returns to you patterns, similar cohorts, clusters. It basically finds similarities within the data. Now, what we're going to talk about is using that to do customer segmentation. Today, when we talk about segmentation, we have a bunch of people that understand what their customer is. They look at a few variables, share of wallet, assets under management, where they're located, and they create their tiering out of that. What this does is throw away most of the human knowledge about this and use the machine to tell us what's actually in the data. The other area of machine learning is supervised machine learning. So I've got a bunch of historical data. I can divide that into inputs and outputs. For example, all the customer profile data that we have from all the integrated system that Bill talked about earlier, and outputs like additional transactions, purchasing additional products. And then I throw these at my machine learning algorithm, and it looks for the patterns where when these things occur, there's a higher likelihood that they'll purchase this. There's a different score for the lead. So essentially, we're using it to train a model to give me a prediction or a score on something. And finally, reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is the production side of the learn that Bill talked about earlier today. It's where you take the output of an actual production result and you feed that back into the algorithm so it can fine-tune itself. I recommended that person pitch this product. Did they buy the product? Yes, great. We'll enforce the algorithm positively. Did they not buy it? Okay, let's go and maybe tune the model down a little bit to make a different decision. And then there's another area of cognitive services or that we have to talk about, which is natural language processing. I think people are very familiar with this as a high-level concept. You take raw text in it and put it in the algorithm, and the algorithm is going to return to you objects, relationships, intention, tone. Basically, it's a way of augmenting data that you may already have. And then we're going to package these things all up as a cognitive services, which is how we access it in runtime.